Hey, it's Patrick and Debbie again with the Bornstead. We wanted to answer one of the biggest questions we get from people that we meet, which is how do you get your kids to eat healthy and pretty much anything that you give them? This is really important because um, in today's age, society says that kids should eat certain things like
Chicken nuggets.
chicken fingers,
Fries.
breaded this, breaded that, tater tots. And while, we'll have those things on occasion, that is definitely far from the norm in our house.
Yeah.
And we try to have those things sparingly, as those are really easy and addictive things for your kids to want all the time, and we try to make sure that those aren't the things that they have all the time because they're not good for their health. So we're going to give you our top 10 tips for how to get your kids to eat pretty much anything. These are the things that we follow, or I guess really the things that we do.
Yeah, these are our tried and true methods of raising healthy eaters.
So
top 10.
The top 10, yeah. So number one
is start young. If you can, and you haven't gotten past those younger years, go ahead and start now. We start with our toddlers. We do not differentiate. We don't give them any different food than the rest of the family.
Yeah, no more spoon feeding babies much.
We give them, lots of different healthy options right from the beginning, and it's just kind of, what's expected and what we do. So we don't change as they get older. It's just from the very beginning. So that's our number one tip. Start young if you can. If you can't start young and you have older kids, that doesn't mean that it's hopeless, and that doesn't mean you can't make changes. It'll take more effort, for sure. You'll have to try a lot harder, but it's definitely worth it in the end. So that's number one.
Number two.
Treat it normally. This is, this needs to become just how your family does things. It doesn't need to be oh gosh, please, will you try something new? It's not going to be so bad, I promise.
We don't ask them to try something new.
Right. We don't ask them to try something new. We just make it part of our everyday thing. This is the kind of family that we are, and this is what we do, and it's normal. They don't even bat an eye anymore because this is what is expected of our family.
Number three, we have the try everything rule. So when we have a meal, you have to try everything. That way you get used to trying and experiencing new things, and not just getting stuck in your old habits.
Right. And we realize, and we try to explain this to our kids and impart this to our children, that you never know if you're going to like it unless you try it. And you never know, this food that you're about to try may actually be your new favorite food. And you would never discover it unless you are willing to give it a try in the first place. So we highly, highly encourage everything has to be tried, and usually more than once. We don't just, have them try a food and they say, oh, I don't really like this, and then we just dismiss it because they've decided they don't like it the one time that they've tried it. We try to have them try it more than once because sometimes it kind of takes a few times, and with us too. And, full disclosure, I was a really picky eater before I got married, and before, Patrick really encouraged me to step out of the box and try new things. Our family was very meat and potatoes kind of people. We just didn't try a whole lot of new things. So, early in our marriage, it was a big learning process for me too, to really get out there and expand my horizons a bit. So I know what I'm talking about when I say you've got to try new things, because if you don't, you're going to really miss out.
So number 4, only make one meal. So we don't have different meals for different kids. In fact, that would be a nightmare for us.
Yeah. With 8 kids, can you imagine making a separate meal for each child based on their preferences? It would just be terrible.
And our kids don't get to go make their own separate meals either.
Right.
Everybody eats the same meal.
Right. And we really, really stick to that. It's what mom makes for dinner is what we're having.
Or
and
dad.
That's it. Or dad, yeah. He does cook. He's great about that. All right, number 5. So this one is, don't have the things that you're trying to avoid readily available in your house. If you decide that, you want to, make your family eating healthier and encourage your kids to eat healthy things, don't have the
Oreos
unhealthy things around.
In your pantry.
Well, right, but even, like we were talking about before, society kind of, the norm is, well, my kid will only eat chicken tenders and applesauce. Or, whatever the foods are, or mac and cheese, or kind of your typical kid foods. That's all they'll eat. Well, if you don't have it as an option in your house, then they're obviously not going to be able to eat it. So rather than having a battle about, well, I'm not going to fix that for you, I'm not going to make it, you can simply say, I'm sorry, we don't have that, and then very quickly it just is a non-issue because it's not even an option. It's not there, it's not available, and it becomes a lot easier.
Okay, so number 6, set an example. Make sure that you as parents are eating healthy foods too. Worst thing you could be doing is saying, hey kids, you need to eat healthy, but we get to eat chicken fingers and french fries. Right. Or, mom serves up this great meal to everybody and dad says, oh, but no, I don't like broccoli, so don't put broccoli on my plate. But kids, you all have to eat your broccoli. Or your Brussels sprouts.
Exactly. So make sure that you're setting the example of the things that you want your kids to do. All right, number 7. So number 7 is offer a variety of foods for your kids to try. Keep it fun and exciting, and don't just get stuck in a rut and always offer the same things. You want it to be interesting to try new things. And that kind of leads right into our number 8, which is make fun eating an adventure.
Whether it's part of school and you're trying new foods that you're learning about for a book or for a country that you're studying, or whether it's making it the challenge for the family to try new vegetables over the summer. We did a challenge, I don't know, a few years ago. We did a CSA locally here where we challenged the family to try one new vegetable a week. That's how we discovered kohlrabi.
Yeah, and that's, what was it? Sugar snap peas was another one that we really just had never eaten much of before then. And so one of our other things that kind of, went in with that was we were trying to find some kind of a new fruit or vegetable every time we went to the farmer's market. We wanted to find something new. We would bring it home. We would research it. We would find recipes or see if maybe it was, best to eat it raw. So we would research it and we would get all excited about it, and then we would cook it together and the big kids would help cook, and then we would try it and see if we liked it. We all kind of take a vote, is this one of our new favorite vegetables or maybe not? And we were able to find some new really fun things that we just weren't very familiar with before, but it was fun and exciting, and we got everybody interested and everybody involved, and kids who cook are kids who are going to eat a lot better too. So that is, I don't have that one down here, but the more that you include your kids in cooking, the better eaters they're going to be.
You gotta appreciate the food more too.
Absolutely. All right. So number 9 is, so our rule at the table is that you do not get seconds on foods that you like unless you have eaten everything else. So when we offer, a plate full of food, like we had taco salad today, and, one of our kids kind of, picked around the salad and only ate certain things, and then they wanted a few more tortilla chips to go with their salad. And the rule is you don't get extras or seconds of the things that you like unless you have eaten everything else. So I reminded him that, sorry, buddy, you can't have more tortilla chips until you eat the rest of your salad and your chicken. And he did. He ate it all, and I was able to give him some, a few more tortilla chips. And it was encouraging for him to eat everything, and he did a great job with it. But that way, you don't have, the few things out of a meal that your kids prefer, that they will only eat that and then just kind of leave everything else. So that's one of our big rules here. All right, so number 10 is it may be a struggle, but it is worth it. You really have to just stick to your guns if this is something that's important to you and something you either want to instill for your family or that you may want to change for your family. It's going to take some hard work, especially changing old habits that are already there, but it's so worth it in the end. And if you think about it, a lot of people are concerned, well, my kid is just not going to eat anything then. They just won't eat if we don't offer them the things that they like. But if you think about it, just imagine that you're going to another country for a visit, or maybe you're moving there, and there are all these strange, weird foods that you have never had before in your life. What are you going to do? You're going to try new things.
Starve.
You're not going to starve. You're not just going to stop eating because there are different things being offered to you. You're going to try out some different foods that you've never had before.
Well,
and within a couple of months, what seems so crazy and weird now becomes the norm. So, that's our big thing here is we want the way that we're looking at things, the way we're viewing food, and the way that we're teaching our kids to view food, we want that to be the norm. We want them to just be like, okay, well, of course, we're going to have some new crazy thing at dinner and we're going to see if we like it. And it's, it's worth it in the end. So we just want to encourage you that no matter how hard it may seem at the time and no matter how many tears there might be at the dinner table, in the end, it is absolutely 100% worth it.
Okay. Bonus round.
All right, so for our bonus round, last but not least, don't make every meal a battle. What we do in our house is if there's, maybe a particular meal that our kids are really just not enjoying, if they don't want to finish their plate, we don't make them finish their plate. But, again, the rule is you don't get anything else afterwards. So if they're really hungry and they know that this is their one chance to eat, then they're going to eat it. And if they don't, that's okay. We're not going to, force them to sit at the table for an hour and have a big, huge fight and have tears and everybody's upset. We don't want to have that. We don't want it to be a negative experience. But we want them to understand that when we offer something, this is the time to eat. This is what we're offering for you to eat. So if you would like to make the choice not to eat it, that's okay. You don't have to eat it. But that doesn't mean that 10 minutes later you get to go make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. When dinner's over, it's over. And if you chose not to eat, that's okay. We're not going to make a huge deal about it. But that was your choice and you don't get anything else.
Or sometimes when we're having desserts, when we're not sugar-free.
Yeah.
Then, if they don't finish their meal, they don't get dessert.
Yeah, and that's just the way it is. And we don't make a big deal about it. We don't make a big stink about it. We don't get upset with them and angry with them and, add all of that emotion into everything. It's just cut and dry. This is what we do and this is how we do it and you have a choice. And it's worked really well for us. It's worked really well. I would say probably, 95% of the time, our kids eat whatever is given to them. And most of it they really like, They eat all kinds of crazy things that I would say most typical American kids do not enjoy. And they have a lot of favorites and things that when I was growing up, I never in a million years would have tried. So it's exciting, to see them willing to try new things and healthy things. And not just dismiss it because it's not their preference or whatever. So anyway, I think that's it. We just want to encourage you guys to help your kids become healthy eaters for life. Start working on those habits that need to change and start making your family a place where it's just normal to eat the right things and to enjoy them and to be flexible and go out of your comfort zone and try new stuff.
After those tips, you might be wondering, what do our kids like to eat? Well, you'll find out here in a minute. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up or subscribe and look for the next video where you'll learn more about what we do here at the Bornstead. What are your favorite foods?
artichoke, hearts of palm, fruit salad, homemade chicken noodle soup. Not star fruit.
Starfruit. Yum. What are your favorite foods?
A steak with Worcestershire sauce when we're not doing off sugar. Mashed potatoes made at home. Green beans. Mangoes when someone else peels it, and artichokes. That's my 5 favorite foods.
What are your favorite foods?
Starfruit, kiwi, homemade stromboli, homemade pancakes, and artichokes.
What are your favorite foods?
Mangoes, starfruit, homemade chicken noodle soup, steak, homemade broccoli cheddar.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite is butter chicken.
Butter chicken? Yeah, you love butter chicken?
Yeah.
What are your favorite foods? Milk! Milk! So you may be wondering where the other 2 children are. Well, they didn't quite make the cut. They fell asleep before we could finish the video. So wait till next time. Have a good night. Or morning, depending on when you're watching this.